Welcome to EPG Pathashala. I am K. Rajan, working in the Department of History, Pondicherry University, Pondicherry. Today, our subject is that Indian culture, and the paper is on Indian architecture. And the module that we are dealing today is rock cut architecture of Pandyas. And who are these Pandyas? These Pandyas were ruling in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, and they have contributed much to the rock cut architecture. So our purpose of this lecture is that to know about the introduction of rock cut architecture in southern part of Tamil Nadu, to understand the techniques involved in the excavation of rock cut caves, to understand the evolutionary process involved in these rock cut caves, to estimate the impact of Pandya rock cut architecture in other parts of Tamil Nadu. As I told you that in India, the rock cut architecture was first introduced in the eastern part of India, in and around Gaya, that in the caves of Barabar Hills and Nagarjuna Hills, then and Rajgirha. So from there, the rock cut architecture has spread to other parts of India. In the earlier rock cut caves are dedicated to Ajvigas, then it was Buddhist. So it was introduced in the Deccan Plateau also. Then it was in the case of southern India, the Kadambas, Chalukyas, Pallavas, Pandyas, they have taken the lead from the Deccan rock cut caves and they have introduced in South India. The difference between the early rock cut caves and the later rock cut caves of the Pallavas or Pandyas is that, or Chalukyas, is that they are Buddhist in nature. The one in South India is Hindu temple, mostly Hindu rock cut cave temples. So there are three power centers within Tamil Nadu. One is located around Kanchipuram, that was ruled by the Pallava dynasty, and the second one is at Madurai on the banks of river Vaigai. There is another dynasty called Pandyas. In between, there is a buffer zone between the Pallavas and Pandyas that they call as Muthrayas dynasty, located at near Kodumbalur, in between Tiruchirappalli and Pudukkottai districts. So this historical background, if you take into the account, the Ashokan edicts refers to the existence of Pandya country even in 3rd century BC. And their rule continued till the Muslim invasion, that means in Tamil Nadu, and after that it has been replaced by the Vijayanagar and Nayaka dynasty. So their rule was almost dismantled in the period between 3rd century BC to 6th century AD by the Kalabras. After the Kalabras, that Pandya kings, what we popularly call later Pandyas, under the Kadungon, they re-established the Pandya dynasty in southern Tamil Nadu with the capital at Madurai. The territory extended in the Vellar, the north, what they call South Vellar, near Pudukkottai, and it goes up to Kanyakumari, their territory. So all this, throughout this territory, we are having Pandya rock cut caves. These, among the Pandya kings, there are several kings who were ruled, that Kadungon and Chandan, Arigesari, Kochadayan, Rajashinma, Varaguna, Srivallava, and Varaguna too. All they were ruling in these Pandya, some important kings that way they have ruled, and they have contributed much to the rock cut caves. And the downfall of the Pandyas also have occurred. The Siripurambiyam war that took place close to Kumbakonam between the Pandyas and Pallavas weakened both the dynasties and also paved way for the emergence of Chola rule. In about 910 AD, the Chola king Parandaka invaded the Pandya territory and brought under the complete administrative control of the Cholas. Again, the Pandyas' power resurfaced after the downfall of Cholas. So, they may not be having a continuity of the rock cut caves or structural temples of the Pandyas. Irrespective of that, they are when they are serving as a contemporary to the Pallavas, they contributed much to the rock cut cave temple. The first rock cut Hindu cave temple is appeared in Badami, the cave number 3. It was excavated by Mangalesha of Chalukya king in 578 AD in memory of his brother Kirtivarman. So this is considered as the earliest rock-cut cave temple of South India, a Hindu temple. But Mahendravarman first claims that I am the man who created the first rock-cut cave temple for Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu. Maybe for Tirumurti it may be the first, but in the case of Hindu deity, the Mangalesha rock-cut cave considered as the earliest one. So the cave temples of the Pandyas, there is no, the artisans, they may be, the dynasty may be varied, but artisans are same. So the artisans who contributed to the Pallavas and the Pandyas are probably one and the same, unless otherwise there is a minor change in the execution. So the excavation that conducted in Barabar Hills or in the Chalukya region or Karnataka region, they were all soft stone or mostly the sandstone in the case of Karnataka. But like a Pallavas, these Pandyas also selected a hard stone because sandstone is not available in Tamil Nadu. So their contribution from 6th century to 9th century is enormous. 300 years of rock-cut caves could be seen south of river Kaveri or even on the banks of the river Kaveri. On the southern bank of the river Kaveri, we are having a rock-cut cave at Tiruchirappalli. So the several rock-cut caves we have seen, among them the lower rock-cut cave temple at Tiruchirappalli, and the Shiva cave temple at Thiruvellarai, and Vishnu cave temple at Malayadipatti, and Parvata Giriswarar cave temple at Kundandar Koil, and Arivar Koil at Chittanna Vasal are some of the important Pandya cave temples. And besides, at Kudumiyan Malai, the famous music inscription found close to the cave is one of the important cave at Kudumiyan Malai of Pandyas. And Malaya Kovil, where again you are having a name of a musical instrument, Parvadini, at Malaya Kovil, and Satyagriswara cave temple at Thirumayam. Again you are having a music inscription at Thirumayam, the earliest music inscription of South India. And Shiva cave temple at Tirukkolakudi, and Karpa Vinayakar cave temple at Palayarpatti, the earliest Vinayaka sculpture found at Palayarpatti, where you are having a Tamil Brahmi inscription also, that is a late Tamil Brahmi inscription. That way it is considered the earliest Ganesha or Vinayaka. Then Vishnu cave temple at Namakkal, and Vishnu cave temple at Thandondrimalai, and Subramanya cave temple at Tirupurangundram, and which has been converted recently. And you are having a Shiva cave temple at Tirumalapuram, and Pachiyamman cave temple at Pechiparai, or Pechiyamman cave temple at Pechiparai. So these are the Karakat temples available about the Pandyas. So when compared with the Pallavas, and the quite number of rock-cut cave temples have been excavated by the Pandyas. So though they don't have the monolithic rathas like a Pallavas, but their contribution towards the rock-cut cave temple is immeasurable. When like a Pandya cave temple, this like a Pallava cave temple, this Pandya cave temple also rectangular cell without any front mantapa. The very interesting feature of this Pandya rock-cut caves is that we are having a very simple form without any mandapa up to the elaborated form. So the scholars believe that it is not the Pallavas who introduced this rock cut cave temple from the learning from the Chalukyas. These Pandyas, before Pallavas, these Pandyas would have introduced these rock cut cave temples because there are very small, simple rock cut experimentary level cave temples are available in Pandya country. And secondly, if you see the technology involved, how they have done this one, what they have done, the slope of the rocky surface have been removed and they make the vertical face of the rocky surface or rock boulder. After that, they make 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter square blocks, or you can say 2 feet by 2 feet square blocks they make first. Then after that, around these square blocks, they make a groove of deeper groove so that the depression will be depends upon the rocky surface. They make about 10 to 20 centimeter, sometimes they have made it. After that, that projected part, because after making the groove around a square block, that square block projecting out of the surface, rocky surface, then it has been chiseled out. So that way they move forward in the cave-in or cut-in into the rock to create a big mandapa. So this picture clearly shows that the square blocks and also the groovings. The very interesting part here, you could see that they have marked the pillars. They left out the pillars and it is and also the side plasters have left out. That means side pillars have left out. So that way, how the method of execution has been clearly could be seen in this picture. And you could see that Thirumayam, located close to the Vellar river bank, and you can see this upper rock cut cave. You are having a very simple form, no mandapa, only shrine shell. So this is one of the attempt they made in the southern part of Tamil Nadu. And you see Arlipatti, you could see like a Barbara kills, and here you have simple entrance and a shrine shell cut into the natural boulder or natural block of rock or hill. And here you are having a square or rectangular entrance and it going directly to the shrine shell. So when considering with the Pallava rock cut architecture, this looks very simple and looks very earlier than Pallavas. And you could see they attempted now to make a small mandapa. This is the front view of that one. You could see that in the front you don't have any dwarapalakas on either side. Only you are having a shell or shrine shell or shantam shantoram. And if you go here, in the boulder, there are small projection is given, and also on the right side and left side, again fine surface is given. And you could see here, on the either side of the entrance, like a kapota thing that above the entrance, you could see there is a small projection. So the projection is meant to, the water should not enter into the temple. So that part is given, and above that is Kaboda part. And on the either side of this rock cut cave, you could see that a pillar is emerging out of the rocky surface, and also the pillar is very square in shape. On the top you are having a cornice, and above that beam-like structure is given. And on this pillar is not independent, and it is just projecting out of the rocky surface, so it is called as plaster. On either side of the, beyond that pillar, your one picture is given, probably a Ganesha is given. It shows that instead of giving a Dwarapalakas and on the either side of the gateway, they are started giving a Hindu deity. And this further development you could see, it is a Malayakoil temple near Pudukottai, and here, and you can see the entrance. At the entrance, you are having the flight of steps leading to the shrine shell or shantam shantoram. On the left side and the right side of the entrance, you are having a plain surface. On the left side, you are having an inscription, that is the musical instrument called Parvadini is mentioned there. So that way, early musical inscription is found in Pandya caves. One at Kudumyamalai, another at Thirumayam, and the third one is in this temple at Malaya Koil. You could see here, now on either side in the cave, you are having a Dwarapalakas. So at the Virchur rock cut cave temple, you could, through the emergence of the depiction of the Dwarapalas, the gatekeepers, on either side of the entrance. So when we compare with the earlier rock cut caves, and this could be the later than that rock cut caves, because the Dwarapalaga sculptures are found on either side. And in the front, of course, the later Nandi has been kept there. And if you could see that another temple, another rock cut cave, you could see that pillar is there, cornice or corbel is given, but the pillar is cannot completely projected. On either side of the pillar, another small shrine-like object is given, that is like Adhisthana or Kapoda or whatever you call Devagostras, and above that you are having a Karnakutas, all have been given there. So it clearly shows that that the structural temple may be constructed in other parts of the country, and that has been got depicted here. So instead of having a direct entrance to the rock cut cave, and you are having a small mantapa like thing before the Shantam Shantorum or shrine cell, it may be a Andrala, or we can call it as a mantapa. If you see the Shavalpatti, how they have selected the rocky boulder. So in the rocky boulder at the base of the things, you are having a pillar, two independent pillars started appearing in this cave. On the side, at the fake, on the right end and the left end, you are having two more pillars that is projecting out of the surface, what we call it as a plaster. And if you go to another up in some of the caves, you are having a complete, you can see the down one, you are having a very simple rock cut cave. And if you see the upper one, which is having a heavy mass of pillar, as of Pallavas, and you are having a square base. On the top, at the top of the pillar, you are having a square or cubical, and both are called Shadram. And in between, you are having octagonal center part, middle part between the two Shadrams, that is called Kattu. And above that, you are having a corbel. The corbel, you are having some wavy pattern as of Pallavas, what we call it Taranga. And Taranga, at the center of the Taranga, you are having a band that is called Patti. So that way, this cave temple and the one which you are seeing now, the Tiruchirappalli lower rock cut cave, is a Pandya's, belongs to the Pandya times. But there are two difference between the upper rock cut cave located just above this rock cut cave, what we popularly call upper rock cut cave of Mahendravarman first. This is a lower rock cut cave of Pandyas. There is a difference between the upper rock cut cave and the lower rock cut cave. So the upper rock cut cave, you are having a heavy massive pillar and with a square base, and also on the top also you are having square Shadram, and the center is octagonal. But in this case, the square is, the size of the pillar is reduced and it becomes little slender, or you can be thinner, and the square base is still depicted. And above that octagonal base, you are having the other component of the pillar, like a Batma, Bandha, or the Kumudas, or Batma and Kalasha and Kumbha and all the Thadi and also all given. But there is no Palaka here. That means in the still later period, the pillar ends with a square plank that is called Palaka. Above that, that means you have the pillar which is holding a beam. Between the pillar and the beam, we are having a corbel or cornice, and that is again, it is in a Taranga posture. And again, the intercolumnization And when compared with the Pallavas and the Pandyas, the space between the pillars, the intercolumnation is quite reduced. So the number of the pillars also increased. And this Mandapa is having a two. One is Mukhamandapa and also Ardhamandapa in the front. Is a Mukhamandapa. At the back you are having a Ardhamandapa. And the difference between these Mantapas, they are shown in the floor levels that back Mandapa, the rear Mandapa is raised above the Mukha Mandapa. So I have given a close view of the another rocket cave. The very interesting feature you could see here, the lowermost pillar having square in shape, and again it's octagonal up to the Kumbha part. And the stem of this pillar or the middle part of the pillar, you are having one patti like thing, and above that you are having Badmabandha, and also you are Kumudas, and also Kumbha, and above that you are having a Karbal, and above Karbal you are having a Kapota, or it is above the beam. That means the Kapota has been introduced, and below the Kapota you are having a several small deities have been given. Sometimes you are having Yalivari, or sometimes Shiva Ganas. In the case of Shiva temple, they have given along below the Kapota. So when it is decorated, so these later rocket cave temples have been decorated much. And you could see that the drawings of this pillar, and you could see very clearly that malas, and you can see you are having, and also the balustrade, that when you are entering to the steps, you are having a elephant trunk like shape is given, that is called balustrade. And also you can say again it is octagonal from square base to up to the Karbal, and above the Karbal you are having the picture. Above the picture some of the small sculptures, miniature sculptures. Above the miniature sculptures you will say Kaboda. So in the as you see in the Tiruchirappalli Lower Rocket Cave temple, and in the shrine, that Sanctum Sanctorum is shown on the rear wall, and you can see that on the lateral wall, and we are having in front of that shrine cell, you are having a Dwarapalakas on both the side, and in front you are having a one mandapa like structure, and it is raised on a platform, and you could see that on Adhisthana part there is a small picture or small sculpture is given. Sometimes elephant head is projected out of the base, and this mandapa is approached by flight of steps that is also cut out of the rock, that is a rocky surface. And the side walls or the rear walls are the walls which is plain earlier time, and we are having adorned with quite number of sculptures. So all Vishnu temple, the Vishnu images will be there. In Shiva temple, in Shiva images will be there. But in between these sculptures, and what we are having again, the plaster like pillars also there. The pillar is projecting out of the rocky surface, and again above that you are having beam is shown, but the ceiling is plain in structure. So that way, when compared with the Pallavas and later when compared with the later Pallavas, the Pandyas also all the Pandya rocket caves having quite number of sculptural panels on the walls of the cave temple. And the another view of the same temple, and you can see the left side, you are seeing right side now. And next one, the factored pillars are shaped with slight tapering from base to top. The pillars carry massive corbels with beveled, that means are curved ends. In the curved ends only you are having that wavy pattern, what popularly called taranga. So then with medallion flat band, then in between that taranga, at the center part of the taranga, you are having a one band that is called patta. The pillars are square in section at the base, and the top with middle we are having octagonal. The pillars are square in section, what we call sadram at the base, and the top one we are having a different component of the pillars. You could see the right side, we are having a details of the pillar, and you see the malas, and also it decorated in the middle part, and you can see the base at the top it is little tapering. When compared with the Pallavas, the Pallava pillars always straight in section, and whereas this one is a tapering sides. So if we see the left side, you are having a pillar, massive pillars, and a heavy kumba, and also tapering sides. So this is a band, and just this is a Mukhamandapa, or only one mandapa is there. On the rear wall you are having a cave, inside you are having a linga. On either side you will be having a Dwarapalagas, and you are having a flight of steps leading to the shrine cell. The faces are of the square section of the pillar are adorned with lotus medallion. As I told you, it is a circular sometimes, and mala also will be given. And the massive beam over the brackets of the pillar, that means above the palaga it should be there, but in some case we don't have palaga in the Pandya rock cut caves. Then again there is no cornice, there is no kapota, is still as shown in Pandya caves. That means early Pandya cave, rock cut cave temples, we don't have kapota. And you could see here like a Pallava cave, you are having again tapering side, and you are having center part is a very octagonal, and the base and the top again it's a square, what we call sadram. Above that you are having heavy corbel, and you are having that beveled side, or like a curved side. The curved portion of the pillar, the corbel, is having a wavy pattern, that is taranga. Above that you are having a beam, or you are having the series of miniature sculptures are depicted. Some of the caves we are having a painting, as you have seen in the left side of the picture. The rectangular mandapa may be divided into front mandapa, that is called Mukha Mandapa, and the rear mandapa, that is called Artha Mandapa. The flight of rock cut steps from the floor of the mandapa leads to the shrine. The Magaratorana ornament spanning the entrance are over the sculpture niches. We are having a Magaratorana above the doorway. The door frame is very simple and without any ornamentation. A beam unfluxed over hanging cornice or kapota is cut on the top. So in the later rock cut caves, the kapota part is emerging out. The kapota is again decorated or adorned by semi-circular kudu ornaments with a flat shovel-shaped finial above. So the lotus medallion on the top and bottom cubical parts of the pillars are depicted. So the Ladada Bimba, what we call central crest figurine, that is called Ladada Bimba. How you are fixing a small tilak on the forehead, like that there is a Ladada Bimba will be there, of the Magaratoranas is quite significant. So they introduced Magaratoranas and also Ladada Bimba at the center of the Magaratoranas. The rock cut Nandi is exhibited before Garbhagriha. So earlier in the Pallava rock cut caves, this Nandi is missing, but here Nandi is projected. The Dwarapalas are found on either end of the mandapa or shrine. Sometimes if the mandapa is there, on either side of the mandapa, Mukha Mandapa, or the entrance, you are having a Dwarapalakas. At the entrance of the main shrine cell, also we are having a Dwarapalakas on either side of the gateway. So the Dwarapalas either face full front or in semi-profile or half turned towards the shrine door. So either they are facing directly to the outside or they are facing towards the entrance of the shrine cell. Dwarapalas stand resting on a massive club and enwined with a serpent. It is a serpent will be always shown. It is a heavy club. The Dwarapalaka will be holding with him. He could see that here the Dwarapala is holding that heavy club, and the club will be having a snake around it, and you can see the way he is resting his left hand on the club. But this type of thing has not shown in Pallava rock-cut caves. And very important thing that what we have seen in rock-cut caves of Pandyas is that musical inscriptions are engraved on the sides of the rock-cut cave temples. At Kudumiyanmalai, we are having a musical inscription, and Thirumayam also, and Malaya Koil. All these three places, we are having a identical musical inscription. But in Thirumayam, it is little damaged. The Kudumiyanmalai musical inscription probably carries the large and valuable musical notations. So notations are like swaras are also available, and the Grantha label inscription engraved within a rectangular frame on the facade of the eastern Shiva cave temple at Malaya Koil reads Parvadini. That means that musical instrument also mentioned there. Interestingly, the musical code word Parvadini also found in all the three places. That means at Kudumiyanmalai, at Thirumayam and Malaya Koil, this word has been utilized. So that way, this area we are having a good artisans, or these Pandyas are having love towards this music. So this is Parvadini is written in the of 6th or 7th century AD character, and it clearly shows that that is developing from a Brahmi script, or the latter of the 6th or 7th century, it is turning into a script moving towards Tamil script. So that way, these Pandyas also contributed much to the rock-cut cave temples like Pallavas. Though the Pandya rock-cut cave temples expressed diagnostic features akin to Pallavas, but still they experiment certain new ideas. The excavation of shrine cells without any front mandapa, the execution of mandapas without plasters or pillars in the extreme ends, the presence of Adhisthana in the shrine cell, and the absence of Adhisthana in the facade, placing the shrine cells at higher level, and presence of Chandrashila at the base step of the shrine, and the presence of Nandi cut out rocky surface in front of the shrine, the absence of lion-based pillars, and the less number of foundation inscription mark the special feature of Pandya rock-cut cave temples. Thank you.